I'm a young professional in my 30s, got a pretty solid career, but I don't know what I don't know. What advice would you have for me and my wife in our 30s?
Well, the 30s are a great time to really set a solid foundation for your financial future. You should be thinking about how much debt you're willing to take on, how much you need to be saving if you're going to be buying a house. All of those things have long-term impacts, and so that means you can, by making wise decisions in your 30s, you can really set yourself up for success later on. I encourage people to try to increase their savings rate. You need to kind of set a timeline out. What do you anticipate needing in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? And the more you can save up ahead and not use debt, the better off you'll be in the long run. So it's a tough decade of life because you have so many things being, pulling at you. If you have children or you're getting married, all of those different things are pulling for your financial resources as well as your time and interest. But it's also an exciting time period where if you can get your savings rate up to 10-15% of your income, you'll really be setting yourself up for success later on. Another thing that I would encourage someone in their 30s to think about is that you need to make sure your roof line of your house, of your financial house, is in place, meaning that all of the what ifs are covered. What if there is a premature death or disability or some kind of liability, getting sued, that sort of thing. You want to make sure that you're covered in those various scenarios, because it can be very, very devastating when something like that happens to a young family. But that's something that I've never heard someone say, I wish I would have started later getting financial advice. So many people have told me, where were you when I was in my 30s? Or, I wish I would have started working with someone who could have helped me out. And it can feel like, I don't have that much money. But you really want to make sure that your footing is solid for your financial success moving forward. 30s can be a very stressful time. You don't know what's going on career-wise sometimes. And it's important to stay flexible. Sometimes I see people buy too big of a house too early, for instance. They want their dream house. And it's oftentimes better to start with something that is smaller than you could afford, to give yourself more flexibility for unknown things that could come up.
So Liz, I have a question for you. You talked about what to do if you're in your 30s, and we've done in your 20s. I am a parent of kids in their 20s and 30s. Mm-hmm. And as we watch them make decisions and grow in their financial decision making, which is to say make less than wise decisions sometimes, what can we as parents do to encourage and help our children become more fiscally mature?
That's a great question, and I'm anticipating, seeing my children, getting to that age and thinking, okay, how can I help as well? I would say stay positive as much as you can. Look for things that you can affirm, even if they seem small, but that's going to help relationally. You don't want to cause a wedge, feel like you're looking over their shoulders all the time, but and also being honest about the things that you've gone through, that, hey, I didn't really handle this well, or I wish I would have done this or that. That kind of opens up the door for them being honest with you back.